Hello, Active Squad. How are you doing? Today we talk about jobs. An undergraduate friend of mine asked me last Wednesday evening, Benjamin, what do I do to make sure that I don't struggle to find jobs after the university? Please tell me, I want to know the reality of the job market now. I thought about it for a while and then I came up with 9 things she needed to keep in mind in order to get a job easily. I'm going to share them with you now. Let's roll! 1. The government is not going to get jobs for everyone. Okay, you have to accept that idea as quickly as possible. Many people depend on the government for jobs. Many young people are at home and they are waiting for the government to make jobs available for them, but chances are that will rarely happen, because there are so many young people at home and there are only a few jobs the government can provide. For instance, recently there was a vacancy was open for young education degree holders in education to apply for jobs, and about 200,000 people applied. 6,500 people were selected. So over 190,000 people are at home still waiting on the government for jobs, perhaps. Okay, so the idea that the government is supposed to provide jobs for young people is really something we need to get ourselves it's a mindset we need to get ourselves out of, because it is not going to happen any day that the government will always make jobs available for all the number of graduates that come out of the universities every day. So keep in mind, the government is not going to make jobs available for all of us. 2, your skill set will determine the number of jobs that will be available to you. You hear very often there are no jobs in the country, and sometimes it's weird to me because you can't just conclude that there are no jobs in the country when every single day somebody is starting a new role in a particular company. Somebody is being kicked out of the company to be replaced by another person. Somebody is also releasing a vacancy because they are starting a new business and they want somebody to come and work for them. The question young people mostly fail to ask is this: what are my skill sets? Because whenever you are going to look for a job, you will look for a job that demands the sets of skills you have. Okay, I mean, if you studied accounting, you are not going to look for any job that is related to medicine that demands that you understand biology or pharmacology or anything. So that you have to watch your skill set. Anytime you feel like concluding that there are no jobs in the country, your skill set will determine the jobs you are available for, and then the number of jobs that you can apply to. So watch your skill set before you conclude there are no jobs. Number 3, the mere fact that you need a job does not qualify you for any job. Okay, now we need to understand that when somebody releases a vacancy to get people to come and work for them, it is not to say that they just want people who need jobs. Okay, they want people who are expert at solving a particular problem that they face in their company, to come and work for them. Okay, that is the mere fact. That's the simple way I can put it. All right. So when you need a job, or when you think you are broke and you have to get something to do, all right, you should also analyze yourself and ask, what skill sets do I have in order to make myself qualified to be accepted into any role possible. Okay, so go search for jobs with the mindset of helping a company solving a problem, but not merely solving your problem of joblessness. You understand me? Number 4, certificates and degrees are not enough to get you a job. Right now, you should understand that many young people, hundreds of thousands, not even if not millions, have degrees and they are at home. Hundreds of thousands of people have master's degrees. Some people are first class students. They are all at home looking for jobs. But the reality is that when people are employing, okay, they are not looking for people who are brilliant or academically to come and work for them. They are looking for experts who can practically solve problems for them. All right, so you may have the first class, half class, zero, I don't know, but it is not enough. It doesn't show that you can do the task. Okay, it shows that you are brilliant, you have worked hard, but it also shows that you have just passed exams, or you understand some problems, but it doesn't show that you can really work if given a particular job. Okay, so some people may be given some roles because they are brilliant, but it doesn't really convince these days that when you give a first class student a particular role, they are going to carry out the job as you want it, as you want it to be. So gather degrees and work hard to make sure that you have the best of degrees, but understand also that it is not enough to have a degree if you really want to get a job. 5. Experience will always put you ahead of the competition. Look, if you are looking for a job and you are not the only one trying to get that particular job, people are more comfortable employing you because you have done it before. You see, there is power in the idea of I have done it before, because that is what experience means. I have done it before means I have the confidence to do it again, and I have I have more chances at succeeding in getting it right. Okay, when I do it right now, if it is risky to employ somebody who has no experience because they have never done it before. Like, they may know the theory so much, they may understand it, they could explain it, but doing it is different. Is totally different from understanding how it works. Now, when we were in the science, we studied science at the senior high school. We were taught about how to mix some elements or chemicals in test tubes in order for you to get a particular solution, right? Now the truth is that in theory they could just tell you this chemical plus that chemical will get you this, all right? But when you want to truly make those chemicals or make that combination, there is a way you have to hold the test tube. There's a way you have to shake one of the chemicals in order to put them right, and if you don't do it well, you are not going to get the result you need. So you see, there is a lot of there's a lot of trust we can have in somebody who has done it before. That will become a disadvantage to somebody who merely knows how it is done and has never really had the experience of getting things done. So whatever you do, okay, in order to, if you have a good certificate, that's great. And so if you want to now step it up a little bit, make sure that while you are pursuing the job you want to get, you have an experience to make the person who will employ you comfortable to employing you. And especially if you are in your university already, you must be engaging yourself in activities that will ensure that by the time you come out of the university, you might have applied the knowledge you pursued in the university to solving a particular problem on the ground, so that will become the experience you would present to somebody who would employ you in the future. Don't joke with experience. You must do everything to make sure that you get the experience. Active learners learn by doing, and so you must get experience. It shouldn't be a problem for an active learner. 6. You need connections. Is it connections or connections? Well, I'll say connections. You need connections. Connections. You need guys, somebody must know you. Okay? Like, you must know somebody and somebody must know you. I don't mean you should go and look for the minister's son and be their friend. I don't mean you should have the CEO's contact so that you can tell him, say I need a job. No. What I mean is that somebody must have seen you put your knowledge to work. Somebody must have had an experience of seeing you solve a particular problem, or must have seen the result of some of the things you have done as a result of you being a problem solver, because that is what an active learner is, a problem solver. You understand? Look, it is easier getting a job when somebody in authority, somebody from a credible, somebody with high credibility recommends you to the person who would employ you. You understand? Like, imagine you have a lecturer, a professor who can recommend you to a particular school. Okay, wouldn't that be amazing? Being recommended by somebody of that level of credibility. Yes, of course. And the idea is not supposed to, it shouldn't be simply knowing somebody, as I've already said. What I mean is that somebody should know that you have done a particular job or you are capable. Somebody should be convinced that you you can do can get that job done, and will be willing to recommend you to somebody. So build that connections. And also, when you are the only one looking for a job, it is you are looking for the job with only your eyes, okay, only your two balls. But what if you have a network of so many people who are calling one another to find out a space for you to work, or who can call, like, if a CEO, if you know a CEO, he can call like 10 of his friends asking, yo guys, I have somebody who is really really brilliant at this job. Does anyone need somebody of that sort? He's a very good guy and you really should, I recommend that you really get him. Okay, that is one person calling so many people to employ you. So build a strong network, have connections. Okay, the other point is go on LinkedIn and build yourself a good profile, but we'll talk about that one later. So build your connections, build your connections. Seven, you are not limited to Ghana when looking for a job. They have told you since 2000 that the world has become a global village. We are interconnected and people can stay everywhere and work everywhere. Alright, so there is the need for you to exploit that kind of digital opportunities available today. Alright, and if you're a young person with a smartphone and laptop and internet, you don't have the excuse. You don't have the excuse. Okay, look, there are remote jobs these days, and as a result of the pandemic, many more companies and businesses are looking for people to work remotely. Everyone can proclaim themselves to be digital marketers these days. Anyone can proclaim himself to be a graphic designer these days. You just have to learn the skill and apply for a job somewhere, and people are ready to get you to work for them. Okay, so don't limit yourself to offline work. Get online, and in that particular respect, you are not limiting yourself to Ghana. Okay, so you are not supposed to be looking for jobs only in Ghana. Look for jobs outside. There are people in Ghana working for people in the US. It isn't because there aren't people in the US who can work it, but there's somebody available and they know how to do the job and they can pay them to do the job, so they are doing it. So explore online opportunities and get some jobs. I have some friends who are really smart in this particular field, and so in the future I'll get them to come and talk about how you can explore the digital space as an active learner. So you are not limited to Ghana. Number 8, you don't always need to apply to get a job. Okay, like you don't. The only time you're applying for a job isn't when, or you are looking for a job isn't when there's a company and then there's a vacancy and then you're writing an application letter. No. Okay, look, you can establish yourself as an expert in a particular domain. Let's say an accounting consultant for small businesses, all right, and you can establish yourself as an authority in that regard. You know so much. You help small businesses set up accounts and decide how to go about doing their financial accounting. You talk about it so much online on LinkedIn. Somebody could approach you for your advice and they will pay you to get the job done for them. Look, you have not applied to go and seek a job, but somebody has also come to you. So sometimes the job will come to you. You don't always have to be the one applying for the job, but you would need to establish yourself as an authority by selling yourself and your knowledge to the world for somebody to see that this guy knows so much. Okay, so jobs always don't sometimes come to you. You don't always have to be the one going to seek them. Number 9 and the last point, guys, whether you are employed or not, 8:30 in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening would always exist for everyone. Here's what I mean. If you are employed, you go to work 8:30 or 9 a.m. and then you close at 5 or 4. I don't know. Whether you are not, and if you are not employed, you don't have a job, and so you are either searching or doing something else. The something else is important. Are you getting skills? Are you volunteering to gather experience in order to go and in order to be more qualified for a particular job? Are you learning a new skill in addition to the knowledge you have gathered in school? Are you getting yourself conversant with internet technologies or the internet platforms in order to secure yourself a remote job? Look, what you do within that space, whether or not you are employed, will depend on how far you can go in your career. Okay, so 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. is always around or is always existing for anyone, whether you are employed or not, and you should take great advantage of that. So, Active Squad, which one is your favorite point? Please let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. And is there a point I didn't mention that you thought was very important? Please let me know in the comments, and then I'll be glad to include it in another video, and perhaps even invite you to come and share it over here. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe now. Subscribe now. I'm waiting for you. Now hit the notification button. Thank you. I'll see you next week with another amazing video. There's an important question that somebody asked me. Are there really jobs or there are no jobs in Ghana? That question is a very important and interesting question to me. So I'll spend some time expatiating the idea of there are no jobs in Ghana, what it really means that there are no jobs, or what it means if there are jobs. Okay, we'll talk about it more next week. So stay active, be active learners, solve problems, build experience, connect with people. You understand? Bye bye.